Welcome back to Color Class. I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
And today we're going to be talking about what color comes to mind when you say or hear the word coral. Because it usually tends to be like a bright, bold, springy, orangey shade. But today we're going to be talking about the different personalities that this color has and how it shifts around. And how some people might think of coral as something completely different than how you might see it.
Well, let me give you a great example. And this is not a show about coral. I want to make sure that we're clear. This is a show about color personalities. Mm-hmm. And this is us teaching you how to recognize that if we say coral or if we say turquoise and we go and we buy a skirt and we say to this person, the salesperson, do you have a turquoise skirt? And she goes, oh yes, I have one right back here. And you take it home and buy it. Your turquoise blouse may not even resemble that turquoise skirt. Right. Or your coral slacks may not even resemble the coral that they hand you in the store. And that's because there is no uniform code mechanism for these color names. Mm-hmm. But that's an advantage to us, or those of us who understand that we have nuances to ourselves. That's what personal color analysis is. It's looking at each other and saying, well, she's light, or she's deep, or she's soft, or she's cool, or she's clear, or on and on and on. I mean, we use 6, but we also have balance. So bottom line, as people, our eyes have a personality, our skin tone has a personality, and our hair has a personality. And when we look at each other, we see an amalgam of all those things, and that is what makes us. And so if you're thinking about a coral, and the reason I mention coral, it keeps coming up, is because we just had a color analysis done with somebody who said she loved coral. But in fact, she was talking about a cooler coral. Now, some might call that conch, mm-hmm. If you're being really descriptive. Right. But the bottom line is, if you see it in a store and somebody asks you, what color was that sweater? You're likely going to say coral. Mm-hmm. And so I put together a color clock. It was the only way I could describe it. And this color clock, as you see, it will give you nuances of light coral to deeper coral on the warm side, on the cool side. And you can see all the nuances that a color has pretty much based on the way we do color analysis. So what we're saying to you is people are analyzed and they have color personalities. But You know what else? On the other side of that, there are colors that can be color analyzed, and they have personalities. And our job as color analysts is to matchmake between the two of you. Now, some of you might say, well, I had my colors done and I got a fan, or I got a wallet, or I look it up on the internet and it gives me a bunch of colors. Did you know that those 30 colors that they give you, or 40 maybe, are just a tip of the iceberg to what you can actually wear if you apply these color personalities to colors that you see in the store or colors that you're looking for example. Now, this is, what would you call it? This is a teal. Yeah. And this is a teal that's on the lighter side, mm-hmm. a lighter teal. This same color is available on the deeper side. So I might choose a teal that's on the lighter side. Somebody else who's even lighter than me may choose a teal that's even lighter mm-hmm. than this. And people that are richer may choose a teal that's even deeper. And I'm sorry, I've moved off from coral to teal, but I'm trying to show you that this is a universal concept. Mm-hmm. Sarah, if she goes out and looks for a teal, she'll probably choose one that's mid-range. Yes. And what doesn't have extra.
Well, I was going to say, my teal is much deeper. My teal is usually balanced, so I don't lean warm or cool, but I will look for a teal that's about mid-contrast, just to match my mid-contrast. So
she'll be harmonious.
Right. My teal is much different than your very soft, light to medium, and slightly on the cooler side teal.
Yeah. Over on Patreon, we will be launching a circle that has all of the 16 plus the 4, so that it deals with all of the different seasons, for lack of a better word, groupings mm-hmm. that we work with. But for now, we're in the beginning of learning color personality. So we're just going to use the clock, which deals with summer, spring on the top there, warm versus cool, and winter and autumn. Again, the warm side, the cool side. So do you guys see that? Do you see how the light cool moves into the deeper cool and the light warm moves into the deeper warm? And if wherever you fall on this clock, are you a 4 o'clock? Are you a 2 o'clock? Down the road, this we wanted to give you a little bit of an intro into a concept, but you might want to have a color analysis done because you might want to know these little nuances. But for now, the thing you might know is, I'm generally light. Everything about me, it's kind of light. So you go out and you look at the colors that are in the lighter register. You look at the 12 o'clocks, the 1 o'clocks, the 11 o'clocks. If you're a little bit warmer, you go 11 toward 10. If you're a little bit cooler, you go 1 toward 2. If you learn this, you can do it with any color. Any color. Beiges, whites,
yes,
pure whites versus off-whites. It's just a fun thing to have in your head and to understand. I mean, okay, it's fun for me. Maybe it's a little nerdy. Is it nerdy? You think it's nerdy?
I mean, at the end of the day, it just makes you a better clothing selector.
Yes.
You're learning how to stay in harmony. So we will make sure these clocks, what did you call color clocks?
Color
I like
clocks.
that.
I mean, just made it up.
I like that, color clocks.
Okay.
All the color clocks will be posted and available on Patreon so you can use them. Also, remember those 6 dominant characteristics. We talk about light, we talk about deep, warm, cool, soft, clear. Use those 6 dominant characteristics to your benefit when using the color clocks.
Slightly off topic. We didn't go off topic. I do want to say this. We had a client ask us, or maybe it was on Patreon, why do you call it clear? Because if it's got so much contrast, why don't you just call it contrasty? So it's contrasty. It means the same exact thing. Right. So if we say clear, you can say in your head, oh, she means contrasty. She's just doing that like color analysis speak. Yeah. But clear means contrasting. And that's something else.
It's not muddled.
Muted.
Well, I was going to say like muddled. Muddled? Is that the right word?
I don't want to call it, you can call it mud. A quick lesson
it's not
in
like
color.
Blended.
Quick lesson in color mixing. What do you know the 2 different ways you can mute a color?
Well, easy, gray, and then mix it.
With a color, like its complement. So when you're doing a muted color, it's either grayed down or it's got its complement mixed in to kill some of the hue, the main really strong hue to it. So clear doesn't have all that stuff, or it has less stuff, or, if it's all the way over to the clear side, it's got none of that stuff. It is pure. It is contrasty.
Also, if you'd like to support us, you can support us here on YouTube by becoming a member. So you have Patreon and YouTube members that we would love to have you join us. Lastly, I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
This has been another color class, and we'll see you in our next video.